Okay, doing a test here, people. Another another video test. Uh let's see. Let me tweet. Let's see. Hi, Lisa. Did you get a notification? I'm doing another test. Can you hear me? Hi, Kat. Can y'all hear me okay? Let's turn on another light here. Can y'all hear okay? That one might be too bright. Let's back that up. Hi, Mrs. Gigi. Hi, Teresa. Julie. Somebody let me know if you can hear me. I don't have any jewelry on. I feel naked without my bracelets. Let's put a bracelet on. You can hear me. Okay, thank you. Thanks, guys. Hi, Lori. All right, I'm doing an impromptu because I'm going to test. I want to test one more thing. I'll tell y'all what I'm doing in a minute. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Hey, Susie. Okay, so it looks clear and you can hear me. All right. I may have found a solution. Hi, Elaine. Oh my gosh. Let's see. One more thing. Well, hang on. I'm texting here. Here come the cats. All right. Hi, Lindsay. All right. So y'all let me know how it looks, how it's going, how it's sounding. And I thought we would go through just as a test. Hi, Pacola. Pacola, did you get my tweet or did you get a notification? So we'll just, as for a test, we'll go through some books. I hear you, baby. I hear you. Mama hears you. So, you got a notification? Okay. So, I got to just keep them away from the cords. So, okay, Julie. So anyway, I am, y'all want to know what I'm doing this time, this test? Y'all are going to laugh. Okay. So, because I want to use my StreamYard and I want to use my HP. So I'm going to test to see if this works. I actually have a 50-foot, I think maybe more, a 50-foot cord hardwiring my computer upstairs to my modem downstairs. So I am hardwired with a 50-foot cord all the way around my room, down the stairs, around through the kitchen, in the den, all the way across the den. I have this long blue cord. So I want to see if this makes a difference. And yeah, well, since I'm hardwired now, I'm not on Wi-Fi. So it's not on Wi-Fi. It is hardwired, and I'm doing this test, and we'll see how it works. Hi, little bookworm. Anybody else I missed? Yeah, popcorn. Exactly, Lori. It's like a popcorn trail. gosh. So, oh, good. Hi, Connie from Germany. Welcome. Let's see. Is Guten Tag? Is that German? Good morning. I tried to learn some good mornings, or some, hellos in different languages, but so far good and clear. Okay. Now, because I'm on StreamYard, guys, I still only have 720p until they upgrade to subscribers, which I did subscribe. I mean, I am a paying customer on StreamYard. Once they upgrade us all to 1080p, but for now, we only get 720. So it's still not going to be as clear as like YouTube 1080, right? So just FYI, it's not going to be that clear, but hopefully no buffs. We're pretty clear. This is my final test with this computer being hardwired all the way downstairs. So yeah. Hubster goes, what, don't we have one of those, and I forget the kind of cord it is, coax, whatever. Anyway, one of those cables that goes from the modem to the computer in the coat closet. And I went, well, I know there's a long blue cord in there. I don't remember what it was for. So it had the right, jacks. So we just hooked up. I just strung that baby all the way down the stairs. Now, as long as the cats don't, get in the cord and mess with it. After Hubster's off today, after he gets out of the shower, I'm going to ask him to put the cats out, and they play in the garage for, sometimes I'll put them in the garage so they're not messing with the cord. They're not doing it right now. I don't think they really notice it, but I don't want them, unplugging us. So anyway, hi, Teresa. I said hi to Scrap Girl, Megan. Anybody else I missed? So, hey, Arlene. So this is another test. And so I pulled out some collage books. We did a mixed media abandoned collage on Monday. So I thought I'd pull out some of I don't know if they're all my favorites. I like all of these. Let me get a sip of juice here. And give us a little test by looking through some books. So I don't know how long we'll be here, maybe an hour or so, just to test. So hope everybody's having a good, today is Friday, right? Yeah. And if you're in the States, you're going to have a long weekend for the 4th of July celebration. Well, however much you can celebrate in the area that's open for you, wherever you live. And I won't be doing anything. Some of the family's going to the lake just to hang out with the family. But I don't know that I'll do that. So we'll see. Anyway, that's all that's going on. Let me put in another test here in my chat. Make sure it's scrolling. Y'all can still hear me okay. Are we good? So we can start as soon as I get some kind of response in my chat. Are we good in the chat? Can somebody say something in the chat? Nobody's saying anything. Is my chat, is it froze or something? There it goes. Okay. Hi, Nash. Thanks, Elaine. All right. Thanks, Picola. I think it's just it's got like a 10-second delay between me and you guys chat moving. So, all right. So here are some of the books that I pulled on collage. And I thought, these might be fun. I'll give you all the dates as to when they came out. One I think might be kind of, within the last year. And so we'll see. Okay. Are you buffering, Elaine? Are you buffering? Let me know. Somebody let me know if you're buffering. I hope not. I hope there's not buffering. Okay, so this one is Lizzie Lee's Create Your Own Collage. Cut, color, and paste your way to fabulous artworks and more. St. Martin Griffin, New York. Is fine. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this one came out in 2016. And I think, should I zoom in one? I think I'll zoom in one. So we're a little closer. There we go. Are we focused? Do we still look focused? Do I need to autofocus again? Think we're good. Yes, book enabler, Teresa. Book enabler. All right. So this first one is Lizzie Lee's. Let me straighten my camera because I can see it's a little crooked on the paper. There we go. All right. So thanks everybody for popping in on an impromptu. Like I said, I'll probably just be here for about an hour to go through these books and just test my hardwired situation. Okay, so she says, hello, I'm Lizzie. I'm a pattern designer and illustrator and love to collage. She's in London. She says, I'm quite tall. I have a cat called Monsieur Gourmet Bonbon. She has this funny lettering, so it's kind of hard to read. Okay, Pagola. And so anyway, and I have not been to her website, but she does have a website, Lizzie Lees, LIZZIELEES.co.uk. So I haven't been to it, but there it is for your information. So she has different instructions. Cut up the whole book. Attack the book with scissors, glue, pens, pencils, anything you want. Pull out pages. 2, use your imagination. Get creative. If y'all have your, if you have your Society of Idea Collector, I think they need to go in the garage, bud. I want to put them in the garage so they don't get in my cord. They're not right now, but maybe they can go. I'm only going to stream for about an hour. Will the door close? I just don't want them in the cord on the stairs or anything. All right. How are you looking so far? So far, so good. It was Hubster's idea to do this. Well, I mean, I wanted to get hardwired anyway, but because the cable, and I haven't checked this week, but up until this week, you couldn't get a cable guy to come into the houses, you know. So, but Hubster's the one that thought of the cord that we had since, you know, probably 20 years ago, back when we had dial up, back when it went, and you got on the internet. Okay. So use your imagination, get creative. Number 3, don't be scared. Color over the line, stick glitter everywhere. Of course, I'll do stickles, but I'm not going to do loose glitter. Hi, Bridgeton. But I'm just giving you her instructions here. Go wild with color. 4, break the rules. Just do it in your way. There are no limits. 5, there are stickers in this book. Hooray! Use them in your crazy collages or just stick them on your forehead to look cool as ice. 6, go to the back of the book to find a collection of papers and coloring in pages for you to use in your brilliant artworks. So there's her little list of instructions, and I love this writing. I want to practice this writing because I really like that kind of funky writing. It's just a little time consuming, to do that, but I really like the way that looks just to play with, So by just opening the book, the first thing I would want that attracted me was the font. Well, I'm sure there's probably a font like this, or I don't know if she hand wrote it herself, but I like that. Okay. Things you will need: scissors, glue, old newspapers, magazines, wrapping paper, any paper, glitter, sequins, imagination, stickers, pens, coloring pencils. So just look at the way the book is laid out. Isn't it nice? Isn't it just like inspiring, eye candy, just the way the book is laid out? Raise your hand if you think so. Okay, so then she says, woo, let's go. Warning, you might get messy and have lots of fun. Make a llama collage. Now, I'm not going to show you I'm not going to read the whole book, but I just want you to kind of get started here. So the first thing she has you do is use a llama as inspiration and as a test. You know what? Where's my phone? I think I might get on my YouTube on my phone so that I can read the chat better. Because the chat in StreamYard is just a little, I don't know, delayed, a little laggy. And so let me go to my channel here. I'm live. Let's go to the video, turn off the sound. Okay. All right. So far, it's not too different. Let's see if I turn it sideways. Is that better? Nope, it's better this way. Okay. So there we go. I can kind of see my chat in front of me too. All right. So she gives you like a pattern. Hi, Cheryl. Anybody else coming in? I missed. She gives you a little pattern here to cut out. So if you want to make this kind of exact, llama, well, the shape, because you use your own papers. And she has papers in the back. Here's more of it. And then you can stick your collage down here on this. So this is just to get you started with cutting some paper, decorating it. Here she says fill it with color, glitter, break the rules, whatever. So it gives you a little inspiration to start with. Then here's a page of stickers, and look at the papers too. She really wants you to cut up the book, but I'm not going to do that. More stickers. I'm not going to cut the book up. Turn the page, but you can look at the ideas here. Now I might use the stickers, but you can use the ideas to do something similar or close. Here's a big butterfly, kind of do the same thing. And then here's just all kinds of little pattern papers, triangles, dotted paper. Make a crazy, collage there. You can collage on top of here. Just, kind of like it can be backgrounds, or you can cut the papers out. You can cut the papers out yourself and washi tape. So here's what I like to do when I'm doing something like from a book like this. Maybe I should do that. Let me get a sketchbook over here. Maybe I should do this. Here, let me get a pen that's going to show up. Let's see if this pen's going to show up. So, for instance, at the beginning, well, first I would write down Lizzie, and I would write smaller than this, but I'm going to write it. Well, you're probably not going to be able to see that either. Well, I'll just tell you as I'm writing. So, Lizzie Lee's create your own, and you could write your notes with. You could write your notes with markers or flare pens. Create your own collage. Okay, so the first thing I would do is fonts at the beginning. So I would make note of that, which I've already kind of gone past that. But like she has these funky fonts that are all filled in. The holes are all filled in. So I'd probably just do a little of that. I would just make notes like and this is what I do. If I'm not writing in a book, I'm making notes about the book. Oh, they're talking to you, Bridgeton. Okay. So then, if you're not used to doing collage, of course, if I had never done a collage, I'd be making a list of things like paper, and some of the important things, but I already know all that. So I'm not going to necessarily write that down. I'm going to write things down that, that apply, that I get something out of, but I'll just kind of call it out just so you can kind of get the idea. So I'd write down paper, stickers. I wouldn't write down scissors and glue. Some of it's, self-explanatory. And, but look here. So here we have animals with crowns. Now, to me, that makes me think of animals with hats, clothes, shoes, like occupational tools, like whatever the occupation is that you'd have your animal, you'd have them like if it was an artist, if it was an artist lamb or whatever, then you could have, when I wrote down occupational tools, what I mean is like paintbrushes, anything that animal or your creation would use. So like artist, paintbrushes, paint, whatever. Are y'all still with the tour here? This, I'm putting this under Society of Idea Collectors so Picola doesn't yell at me. Okay, so and I'm just going to kind of go back here a little bit. So this makes me think of your color book pages. And we've done this before, but I'm just going to write it down just so you get the idea of writing ideas down. Color book pages used in journals. Okay, so you can cut these out and use them in journals. That's the first. I'm just writing some of the first things that come down in my mind. All right, so here are, all right, so shapes. Cut out, there goes Hubster out the garage. Cut out shapes from images, and you could say in magazines, calendars, old books. Are y'all getting the idea? Have I lost y'all? I don't mean like internet lost you. Have I lost y'all? Y'all still with the tour? Okay, so hi Janice. And so what I'm essentially doing is just writing down notes of ideas that come to me. And see, then you can go later. You can do things like your mind mapping, like, here over here, you could take your occupational tools. Oh, go stay in here. Occupational tools of, and let's just say we're doing the artist. So then you would mind map this out, paint brushes, pens and pencils, paints, whatever. So you can start making a mind map of anything you want. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next, but here, and you might want to just do some shapes, like here's some triangles. And so when I start doing something like this, when I start writing down shapes, I'm thinking of textile patterns. And from that, I would go to, again, another mind map, textile patterns, and then like Japanese kimonos, I'm not sure, like maybe Norwegian folk designs, Native American designs, or whatever. So you can start doing, countries, like I'll say cultural textile patterns. Okay. Hi, Galena. Doing a little collage book looking. Some Society of Idea Collector note taking and testing, being hardwired to my modem. Okay. So again, and do I, maybe that shape right there, I kind of like the way that they did a circle with the triangles. So to me, that would make me think of combining shapes. So anything that comes to your mind, don't, in this is like brainstorming. Don't censor yourself and go, well, that's dumb, I'm never going to use that. No, just write it down, sketch it down, write it down. Hi, Rain. Write it down. Hi, Riri. And just write down anything that comes to you, doodle, and just, as your pen's moving, as your pen or pencil, whatever you prefer, marker, whatever you're using, as you're writing things down, your hand is moving. You're going to be thinking of You're going to be thinking of things as your hand is moving. Okay. All right. So then let's go to the next one. Okay. Oh, well, down here she wrote Mexico holiday with Olive. Okay, so this is when she went on her holiday. So, if some kind of holiday comes to you, or even if you just write down holiday, everything doesn't have to be, an encyclopedia. Just write down whatever comes to you. All right, so then we have some pattern papers and shapes. All right, so just seeing this little design here makes me think of Celtic designs. So I'm going to add that to my little cultural textile pattern mind map. Okay. All right. So here I like this grid. So now I'm just going to write down grids. I don't know why, I just did, just because. Then you have the dot grid. You have the triangle kind of grid. I just make a note. Triangle grid. And any other thing that you think of. Okay. So there you go. All right. Then here I see borders. So I got grids. Now over here, I'm going to write borders. I'm just making notes that anything that is catching my eye. Okay. So borders, there's this little zigzag. So I'm just going to put a little like that around it. Okay. There's loopies and just make a loop. Anything that just catches your eye. Okay, so here's a giant close-up. Sorry, garage door again. Here's a giant close-up of a face. So we've talked about this before. Macro photography. If you look things up like plants, bugs, gems, rocks, anything that if you looked up things in macro photography, hi Suzanne, your comp books are full of graph. There you go. So you can use your comp book to do this kind of society of idea collecting, right? Well, we've done that. We have multiple books that we've used for our society of idea collectors, but a comp book is awesome. Okay, so macro photography, if you look up macro photography and look up plants or bugs or gems or rocks or anything, if you look this stuff up, you're going to see a real close-up of things. And that's just what made me think of this. This has nothing to do really with looking up plants, bugs, gems, and rocks, but it made me think of macro photography. So I'm writing that down. Okay. All right, so now we're just going to move on through some papers here. And then are the babies outside?
Babies are in the garage.
Okay. So don't trip over the cards now, honey.
Oh, we don't.
I think it looks good to me, but again, it always looks good to me. Nobody's saying that we're lagged or buffering or anything, so.
Okay, I'll be back in a little bit. I'm going to get your Beano and your preparation.
How funny, honey. You're terrible. I have to tell y'all that story when our daughter, who is an RN, he always pulls this on all the relatives. He loves to pull it on the girl nieces. So anyway, when Annie was here one time, he said, Annie, would you run to the store for me? I got some coupons here. I need you. And she's an RN. Will you go to the store for me and get me some of this stuff? And she went, sure, Dad, what do you need? So he handed us a bunch of coupons. He always pulls this kind of stuff on the kids and the girls and the boys do. But anyway. So anyway, he hands her all these coupons and she looks at them and there's Beano, Gas X, Preparation H, all that stuff. And she goes, Dad, I'm not going to go get this stuff for you. So anyway, he always does stuff like that. Okay, now here we are on washi tape. Okay, so now I'm over here and I just might want to make a note of washi tape. And I don't know. I just wrote it down. Nothing's really coming to me off of this, but well, all right, let's do this. Washi tape, write on it. Write on the tape. That's what I'm seeing right here. I'd probably say with Sharpie. Okay. So, yeah, he's a hoot. Oh, he is. He's got very dry. Well, I'll tell y'all one more story. Let me get a sip of my juice here. And I know some of y'all have heard this before. So he always tried to get our daughters, when they were growing up, to get over themselves, not to care what people think so much. Now, Denise, um, she was more like the free spirit kind of, I don't care what people think. She never really cared, never cared what anybody think. Annie, she was, the homecoming queen. She was a model and she did all this kind of, she was very girly. And so she was the one that really would get embarrassed easy. So, but we would do things like this. Denise is a riot, Riri. Denise is a riot. So, but we would do these kind of things so that they would not grow up caring so much what people think. So we have I could tell you a ton of stories like this, but I'll tell you this one. So they have a slumber party and they have all their girlfriends over, and probably about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, Hubster fires up the lawnmower and he's mowing. So, of course, everybody wakes up, right? All the girls wake up and they look out, and here's their dad out there in I don't remember what kind of shirt he had. Might have on some kind of a striped shirt, had on plaid Bermuda shorts, black knee-high socks, and his wingtip shoes, mowing the grass. And so he kind of purposely did fun things like that. They're so funny. Now they laugh, but at the time they were going, "Oh my gosh, Dad, what are you doing, Dad?" But it got them over caring so much. Because like when Annie first learned how to drive back when Annie first, back when the girls were teenagers, first learned how to drive, they would have, we had a self-serve and regular serve. You could have somebody pump your gas for you, right? So Hubster would drive up or have Annie drive, during when they were doing their learner's permit and stuff, and pull up to the gas tank, and he'd go, "Okay, Annie, go out and get the gas." Even out of full service, he'd say, "Annie, go ahead and get the." "I don't want to get the gas. Somebody might see me. Teenagers, a lot of teenagers are like this, very conscious of their peers, somebody might see me. He goes, "I don't care. If you want to drive, you have to know how to put gas in the car." Stuff like that. So when you get things like that, hi, Julie Topaz. So when you do stuff like that with them, and he didn't do it in a mean way. He wasn't screaming, "Yeah, go get the guy." He made it lighthearted, made it fun. Hi, Kathy A. And made it fun so that they would laugh and think, this is really not that serious. It's not the end of the world. I'll tell you one more and then we'll continue on, because now we got off track because Hubster walked into the room. So one time, being self-conscious teenagers, Annie more than Denise, but they both had their moments. But Denise was best friends with our pastor's daughter. They're the same age and they were BFFs. And so they didn't really care. Denise and her friend did not really care so much about this. But one time my car broke down. So while it was in the shop, I borrowed my brother-in-law's beat up, ratty, column shifting, old rusted blue pickup truck. It was like something you'd see on a farm. But I had to have something to drive to work and stuff. I didn't care. I would drive it to work. But anyway, so I made them go to and I could have taken Hubster's, or we could have gone in the other one. But anyway, I made them ride to church with me in that. And whereas and I know Annie, I know she and her friend were probably hunkered down on the floorboard so nobody would see them. But things like that, it made good memories now. And of course, we all laugh about all of this now. But my point is it gets you over yourself. I tell stories here of embarrassing things that have happened to me or the kids, just so, you see Yeah, three on a tree. Yeah, exactly, Julie. Because I learned how to drive on a stick. But this was, like you said, three on a tree. So anyway, it was just things like that that makes you, get over yourself, not be so self-conscious. And when you're streaming too, I do everything here live. If something turns out, if it doesn't, if something doesn't turn out like I wanted in a project, it's like, okay, well then now don't do that. It's like it's okay. It's not that big a deal, right? Considering everything going on in the world, right? Okay, so let's keep going here. So again, we're using just a sketchbook. This is just I get these when they go on 50% off, the Master's Touch at Hobby Lobby. This is sketch pad, normally $12.99, and I'll get it for $6.50 when they're 50% off. And they're not, it's just sketch paper. It's it's a little bit of texture. It's thicker than say copy paper, but it's these kind of, or a composition book are great for just doing mind mapping, note taking, society of idea collecting. Happy Independence Day to you, D something. So, oh, you had an antique Studebaker station wagon to learn on, Riri? Yeah, I had a little red Honda. Let's see, it was a 1971. I'd have to ask Mom. I think it was a 1971. It was my dad's car that I learned how to drive on in 1971. Okay, we won't talk about how long ago that was. Where's Janet? Anyway, okay, so here are some different ways using the same like element and then showing how it looks in different ways. And again, she wants you to cut these out, cut them out, and use them. All right. Here is, and I'm going to turn the page now because I'm running out of room. Go to the back of this one. Okay, maps. All right, so here we got some ideas from maps. You could do a city, yours, or your favorite. And you could also do a fantasy city. Do a fantasy city, rename it, and build a story on it. This is just what's coming to me right off the top of my head, just by looking at this picture. This is what's coming to my mind. You could do, I'm going to say quickly sketch the buildings with super tips because they're water-based, they're quick, so you could go in here and do quick buildings. I'm just going to do this just to remind myself what I mean, right? Just to kind of remind myself what I mean here. You could have some towers, some rooftops. So anyway, you could sketch out the buildings with super tips, then go in with pen details. This is just what comes to my mind, just looking at this picture without even reading anything yet. This is just what comes to my mind. Riri said, my girlfriend's father collected antique cars. Oh, cool. You have pictures of yourself with all those cars, Riri? Of course, back then we didn't take pictures like, now you take a picture of everything with your phone. I'm constantly snapping cat pictures for Catter Day and, taking pictures of everything. Back then, we had our little, unless you were a professional photographer with a big 35 millimeter and lenses and all, you probably had some kind of little 110 Insta stack. I want to say Instagram, but little Insta camera, like a little 110 with the little, it looked like this. The film looked like this in it. And then here's your camera inside. This would be inside your camera. And so what happens every time you took a picture, and you scrolled the little wheel, you'd be moving, take a picture and then roll it. Take a picture and roll it. And you'd have what? I don't remember, 20 pictures? Is it near 720 or not near as clear as 720? I don't know, cat and paste. I can't tell. I can't tell as a streamer. It's probably not. It's probably not as clear as YouTube. But as long as we're not buffering, no buff. Yeah, Polaroids. Yeah, I guess I still have old Polaroid. Well, the little Instax. You know those little Instax. They kind of came in for a couple years, and I haven't seen them for a couple years, Julie. A few years ago, those little Instax came back in. But anyway, my point being is that the 110 camera, since I'm going to write that down, since I want to know what I'm doing here. To get these, the film wasn't that expensive, but to get it developed, I mean, it could cost $20. It could cost $20 to get those, little pictures developed. I don't know, 12, 20, I don't remember how many. But it was very expensive just to take pictures. You didn't just take pictures and just print them off every day or just keep them on your phone. I know most people in the chat here are not that young. But if you're watching in the live lurking, yeah, we had to do that back in the day. Okay, so here we go. This is the London cityscape collage, because the artist, the girl that did this book, Lizzie Lee, she's in UK. So here she did her version of London, very simple, and it almost could look like she did do these with super tips. So you could use papers. That's what she. Sure I understand. Okay, Siri, I wasn't calling on you. Siri on my watch. She's papers here. She put in some little silhouette animals, so you could put in silhouette people. And I like to put a little dot. I like to put a little bullet note whenever there's a new subject. So I know how expensive photo used to be. Susan, I missed something? Oh, yeah. Well, exactly. Let's see. Tree said, my husband was a long haul trucker, so I used a lot of film while on the road. We would stop at a store and get the film developed. Yeah, but it was expensive. Okay, Larry. So I'm just going to kind of flip through. I'm not going to do every page. What I'm trying to show you here is how to draw things out of a book. Okay, like here she has this is taped. And so just masking tape. It doesn't have to even go with this, but masking tape details. And if you just happen to have some handy, you could put, you could tape some down just to so you remember your ideas. Again, this is your sketchbook. This is for you to keep your notes in, keep your Society of Idea Collectors. Again, it could be that you do this. You could be doing this in your comp books, right? Okay, so just to kind of, give you an idea there. We still have 4 other books to go through. Suzanne says, I took a lot of pictures. Still, this spent my money is taking pictures of your kids every week. Yeah, now you can just do everything on your phone. Okay, so I like the idea here. Look, clouds with patterns. I just noticed that and I just liked it. I don't have any idea what I would do with it, but she has, just to do that. Okay. I just want to make a note of it. So what you do then is some days when you don't know what to do, you don't have any inspiration. I don't know what to draw. I'm not inspired. Then you go get your sketchbooks out or your composition books or whatever you're using for your Society of Idea Collector books, journals or sketchbooks, and you just pull from it. And don't forget, guys, and I don't really want to go over this right now because we've done it so many times. If you look in the Society of Idea Collector playlist, which Pacola made me make, um, make list. And if you make lists, I'll give you some examples of some lists. Well, here, let's do it on the next page. People, and by people, I mean anything alive, anything living. Okay, so it can be by people, it can be animals, bugs, or you could make a separate one for animals if you want. Okay, but I usually just put anything living in the same category. Okay, places, and places can be any place in the world. It can be a building, it could be a museum, it could be a field of poppies like in the Wizard of Oz. It could be the Emerald City. You know, it could be Paris. It could be anywhere. It could be anything that is a place. And then you have one that's things. These are just my very basic list. Then you have occupations and any kind of transportation. This is another list. I just don't have room here to carry it out. If you make lists, and I can tell you, you could do 100 pages easy. If you don't think you have an imagination, do this. And then you could also do colors. Okay. And by colors, I don't mean and you could even do little swatch charts if you really wanted to. You could actually take your markers and make a list of just doing your super tips. Just go through all your super tips and put them all down, just so you have a whole list of colors. Okay. So here's your list. If you fill these lists out, hi, little sister Cheryl. If you fill this list out, I mean, you could at least do one full page of each thing. A whole page of people, a whole page of animals. And then under animals, you can do insects, you can do reptiles. You can break this out. I'm telling you, you will not run out. Birds, anything, just keep making your list. And then under the birds, then you can start doing canary, robin, vulture, eagle, I mean, you can just keep going and going and going. Same thing for places, things, occupations, and transportation. Then once you have these lists, you don't have to number them. It just kind of makes it a little easier to number. And then just randomly pick some ideas from. We've done this before. It's been a while, but then you randomly pick from your list and combine those things and use your imagination. What it does, you don't have to make a finished painting or a finished drawing. Just sketch and doodle. I mean, just sketch and doodle. Pick a reptile and an insect. So you could have a some kind of a frog with wings. And even if it doesn't look like that, is in your head, you can just write down frog with wings, just so you're getting your ideas on paper. Because then when you don't think you have any ideas, you have a sketchbook full of them. I keep this kind of stuff in 3-ring binders, big, thick 3-ring binders. So, but it is handier to have a sketchbook or a composition book, especially if you want to take something and move around, if you're out and about and you want to keep your ideas, have a moleskine, have a little something that you carry with you. Hi, Nancy. Yeah, I'm doing a test with I'm actually, if some of y'all are just joining me, I'm hardwiring my computer, my desktop upstairs to the modem that is downstairs. So I have a 50-foot cord going out my room, down the stairs, through the kitchen, into the den, across the room in the den to the modem. So I'm trying to see if hardwiring will be more stable. Okay, which all stream platforms tell you, if you're hardwired, you're going to be much more stable than being Wi-Fi. Okay, but again, I am on StreamYard, and StreamYard is not doesn't have the 1080p like YouTube does. But some of the benefits of having StreamYard are being able to have guests, being able to, show comments like this. Devin, that kind of thing. So there's just other fun things you can do. Plus, I want to do StreamYard so I can have guests. You can't have guests on live YouTube, just clicking and going live. You can't have guests. So I wanted a platform, and everybody uses StreamYard. Everybody, I don't know. I don't see Kathy Arbor. I think she does. Kathy Berg, Colleen, and a lot of the artists that I watch that have multiple people on, they all use StreamYard. So it may not be the clearest, but it is easy. It's very easy. Very easy to do. So hi B. Anybody else I missed coming in? Okay, so let's keep rolling here. Let's turn the page. So here again, and we're in this little Lizzie Lee's Create Your Own Collage book. I've got a whole bunch of collage books here that I just thought we would roll through. But what I did is I kind of stopped to go through the books to show you how I take notes when I'm writing, when I'm reading a book. Okay, so here's more. Pull out this London scene collage already made, and she wants you to use it. She wants you to tear this book up and use it. See, look. So she gave you one to tear out. New York City pages coming up. So here's okay. So New York is like it has the Big Apple. Okay. Well, when you go through over here on your places, make note, or I'll just put note, what are the cities known for? And I'll just put a little box around it so that separates it from everything else. Thank you, Riri, for the super chat super sticker. Thank you, Riri. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to add you to my July thank yous. Thank you, Riri, for the super chat. Thanks so much. Super sticker. So if y'all super chat me or PayPal tip jar me, I do I send out thank yous monthly. And if for some reason you have PayPal or tip jar me in the last couple months and you've not got a thank you back from me, let me know, because some of the mail's been messed up. Plus, if you have not sent me your address, I have 2 people that never sent me their address, so I can't send them out a thank you. So you have to make sure and send me your address. Either leave your address in the PayPal tip jar notation or email me your address. Okay, one or the other, so I can thank you. Thank you, B, for saying that. Oh, wait. Let's go over there. Let's click on. B said, thanks, Ree, for supporting Dee Dee. Thank you. Let's see. I want to go back to the super chat. There we go. There it is. There we go. Ree, you need a face, Riri. Thank you, Riri. I have to remember that I have this. The little banner note, clicking on the names, and I can put your comments up there. I have to remember, but just reading. I mean, I do well to read your comments, so sometimes I forget to put them up there. But I do appreciate all of you. Hi, Hermie. Who else am I missing? Oh, there we go. Thank you, Picola. Let's see. There you go. Thank you, Picola. Picola is such an awesome mod. You don't know how to what? Email me? What? You don't know how to do what, Riri? No, you can't put the comments up here. I have to put the comments up. So yeah. Okay, so again, I'm just going to keep making notes as I flip through, and like the taxi, I'm just, and for some reason, the little postcard here, I want to just write down postage, stamps, letters, postcards. I'm just writing whatever comes to my mind. This doesn't have to necessarily even be part of this book. It doesn't have to be even a part of this book. It's just whatever ideas come to you. Write them down. Oh, you don't know how to put a picture of yourself. Well, Riri, all you have to do is go into your YouTube, and there should be a little place to click picture. To click your face. And then if you have a picture of yourself in your computer, it will say upload. And all you do is click the upload and then go to in your computer where your pictures are and click on the picture. And it's not hard. It's not hard. Yeah. Let's see. You have to go through your homepage and choose a photo to put on your name. Yeah, there you go, Teresa. Yeah. It's really not hard. You just have to have a picture of yourself in your computer or wherever your iPad or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to keep rolling here. Look for inspiration everywhere. Be curious. Cut out words from newspapers, stick them down, create something ridiculous. So, let me just make a line here because I'm doing something else. Cut out words. I'm just writing down things that, anything. Okay. So again, I'm not going to go through her whole book, but I want you to get the idea. All right, I'll flip through the book. And okay, so I think you get the idea of how I'm doing the note taking, right? I hope you are anyway. All right, so these are stickers. These are alphabet stickers here and stickers here. Little pages of little bits of color paper. Oh, here's where you can cut out the owl. That's so you can cut him out if you want to make him. Valentine cards, how to do different things with that. Here's a whole bunch of eyeballs. So, you don't know what to do one day, just sit here and draw eyeballs. Just draw eyes, draw them looking this way, draw them looking that way, draw them looking up, draw them looking down. You can just doodle a bunch of eyeballs. So anyway, just whatever comes to you while you're skimming through the books. Any book, not just this book, any book you're looking at. Here's a little cupcake collage. She shows you she even gives you a pattern, look, so that you can cut it out of her paper that she gives you. Okay, so there's just all kinds of little collage, inspiration. And again, anytime you get an art book, especially if it's an eye candy one, do this first, like while you're maybe even the first time you're looking through the book. The very first time you're looking through the book is when you're going to have the most excitement about it, right? So keep you a notepad, a sketchbook, or your comp book or whatever, and just write down whatever occurs to you when you're looking through anything. It doesn't have to be related to this at all, right? So you can see here, I think this is where the New York one. Oh no, this is a garden here. So it's got flip out here so you can color or collage that. Some are color book pages. She wants you to cut it up and use this book. Then back here is papers to use. Color book pages to color and cut out. And then here's a little, she wants you to cut out, fold, and stick, and you have a little house. So she gives you that in the very back. So again, this right here was Lizzie Lee's Create Your Own Collage, Color, Cut, and Paste Your Way to Fabulous Artworks and More. I'll give you the ISB, and you can find all these on Amazon, I'm sure. 978-1250-099-242. Or just look up Lizzie Lee Collage in Amazon. All right. That's the first book. I'm trying to catch up on chat. No, that's true, Kangaroo Babe, and good morning. It doesn't have to be a picture of self. It can be your cat. It can be anything. It can be it doesn't have to be a photograph of you, right? It could be anything. That's a good point, Kangaroo. Okay, I'm just off the top here. Next. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and make me a new page. Okay, so again, I'd write the title. cut, paste, create a design journal. And it's by Eleanor Shakespeare and somebody. Oh, and you're supposed to put your name. Oh, and who? Shakespeare. She has A-R-E. Okay, so cut, paste, create a design journal. Eleanor Shakespeare and you. You're supposed to put your name there. I've done a couple, Suzanne. I gave them to I gave them. I don't have them. I can't show them to you, but I've done a couple. I don't have time to do them. I don't have time to do them. They're very time consuming. Very time consuming. But they are fun. If you've never done a diamond painting, you should at least try one. I've done two, but I just don't have the time. It way, if I'm going to be taking that much time, it's going to be sketching and drawing and note taking and reading, because I do read a lot too. So yeah, but yeah, I've done a couple. It's fun. It's just time consuming. Okay, so this one here, let's start out. This book belongs to collage yourself into the picture in a mismatched outfit. Again, I'm not going to do the whole book, but I like some of these lettering styles. So if I wasn't taking too much time, I would take, and maybe do some lettering, like just take the word journal here and maybe just kind of, try to do a little bit of lettering. And this one's kind of she has kind of a funky journal. Some letters are thicker. This one's got a little curl on it. So I might, just do something like that. Or I would do like I'm doing brush lettering lately, a lot of. And this is just a Fude touch pen, but you can do you can do this kind of thing with. Well, let's do that over. Whatever comes to your mind. And then after that, I might go, oh, I kind of like that. Let's just go ahead and, outline it. So just whatever comes to your mind, because this is going to inspire you whenever you don't know what to do. You can go back to your books. Thank you, Pacola. Pacola's putting in links. You're awesome, Pacola. It inspires you the next time. Okay, so here I'm noting background flat, and I'm thinking maybe gouache. I always have a hard time spelling gouache. UAC. Well, I'll know what I mean. But anyway, and so anything that comes to your mind while you're doodling, flipping. Hi, Mama 4. So here's some collage tips. If you can't find a specific object, try splicing together lots of different images to make something unique. Now, I might like that idea, so I might bullet point that and I might write that tip down. Or, I'll pick out what I want. And don't ever feel compulsively to write everything down. I want to try to get as much information picked out that I think I might use at some point. Make your own textures using paint, pen, ink, anything. Let them dry and then cut the shapes out of them. So she's got all these different tips here. Simple can be best. If you're stuck for ideas, start with a geometric shape and build up more detailed layers. Okay, so again, this particular book is a design journal, so you can work on the pages in the book. There's like Carrie Smith has a few of this type of books out. I can't think of the names of them now because I gave all Carrie Smith's books to Cameron, so I don't have them with here. But if you look up Carrie Smith, she has all these different kinds of books that you can do your own, not just the smash. Not what was it called? Her main one. Just not destroy this book. What is it? Hi, Judy. Not destroy this book. What is a book called? It's like her most popular one, where you put all kinds of, she has all these prompts for you to tear, rip, paint, get it wet, drag it in the dirt. Anyway, there's books like that. She's got all kinds. No, it's not Smash. That's not Carrie Smith's book. I'm trying to think of what it's called. But anyway, just look up Carrie Smith. She's got all kinds of different ones. Wreck This Journal. Thank you, D something. Wreck This Journal. But she has all other kinds that, to me, like Mess Up This Book, something like that. And she's got a whole bunch of different ones. But this kind of reminds me of that, But you do this with collage instead of tearing things up and getting it. You do it all. You do this one with collage. Yeah, it is an oldie. Design your own bookends, hairstyles, so it's this book right here is for you to design the umbrella, make the cushions for the sofa. It's just a fun book that has all different types of things for you to add your own design your own currency. And I'm flipping through, guys. I know I'm missing pages. I'm flipping through and not covering every page, but you can see she wants you to decorate all these things. And this will get you started thinking about how to do collage. And some of this is really good if you've never done collage. I always tell you to start with some kind of, like I use abandoned books, but you can start with any kind of coffee table book and start gluing things in, painting on it, reverse collaging, and it has something for you to start on. So you're not just starting on a blank piece of paper, which can be hard for some people to get crack-a-lacking on. So again, it's just lots of little things like that for you to start, to throw your own collage on, do your own doodling. And then at the same time, when you first get a book like this, again, as you're flipping through page by page, take down notes. Whatever comes to your mind doesn't have to be correlating with the book at all. Doesn't have to match this. This is just for whatever comes to your mind, whatever it is. You see this frame and just, whatever comes to your mind. Doesn't have to do anything with collage. Think of everything you have framed. What is framed? And don't forget to ask your questions too. That's another thing. I should have put that over on our list page. But you want to do, let me get a marker. Who, what, where, why, when, how, and Mary Altier added one. Why not? I think she's added more than one to the questions, but she goes, well, why not? So ask these questions. If you stop and ask, if you just took these questions and this page, you could fill a book. Don't think you couldn't, right? So what is framed? Who is framed? Why? What? And anyway, all your questions. Ask all your questions. And that's just on a frame. And it could, you'll just come up with so many ideas, but you got to write it down. A lot of people will look through this book, and in our Society of Idea Collectors, I always say this. You need to have either Post-it notes or a little book or a Molly or a sketchbook or a comp book. If you don't write it down, you will forget it. You cannot hold in your head. I mean, look at just what we've done in the last 30 minutes. We've done all this in 30 minutes. I'm not going to remember this, and just this much in 30 minutes. I'm not going to remember that tomorrow. I'm not going to remember that tomorrow. So you need to write it down, and then anything that occurs to you while you are writing doesn't look, there's an ink spot right there, ink spot. Well, it may not mean anything to me right now, but first thing that comes to my mind is the stencil that Janet sent me last week. I have it sitting over here. So do I, maybe I'll want to stop and just kind of doodle out this ink spot or get some paint on there and splot it. So whatever comes to your mind. Hi, CB. Happy Friday to you too. Okay, so let's keep flipping through here. Well, I think we flipped through enough here. So again, this is just for you to create your own to finish the pictures. And this one is 2016. That's when this one came out. All right, so there's that one and this one. These are the two we've looked at so far. All right, let's go on to, now this is a flow book. And I got this one, I believe, at Barnes & Noble. You probably can get it at Books A Million. I don't know if it's on Amazon. I don't know. It may be. Pacola probably has these books memorized. But so this is a flow book. Creativity takes courage. Dare to think differently. And it's by the girls that do the flow book, Irene Smith and Astrid van der Hulst, illustrated by Kate Pugsley. So, right here, it's got, it's embossed. This is embossed. So you could do, I think my video is still up where Hubster and I went and did a grave rubbing, graveyard, cemetery, in the cemetery. Well, it's kind of like that. You can just put a piece of paper over this and you can do a rubbing of it. Because it's embossed. That's the first thing that makes me think of that. Is our trip to the graveyard. It was it was 1700. What was it? 17 something, I think. The graveyard, early 1800s, late 1700s. And I took a big roll of paper down there. It's an abandoned cemetery. It's just like a family plot. And it's in a place where in the woods. We know where it is. It's been there, it's been there since Hubster's known about it for his whole life. And so I wanted to make sure and keep a memorial of it in case anything, if it ever got plowed over or whatever, that we still had a record. It was not our family cemetery or anything. It's just a Georgia cemetery. So I wanted to make sure and had a record of it. So let's see. Judy Wilson. Anybody else I missed? Eileen doesn't usually get here very early, Elaine, even on my regular days. And this is an impromptu. So, yeah. All right. So this is a flow book. Creativity takes courage. I love square books. I love square journals. I love square books. I just like the format of a square book, big or large or small. I just like square books. So anyway, it has the flow vibe to it. If y'all, had flow magazines. So unleash your creativity. Creativity is something we all need. With a creative mind, it's easier to find solutions to daily problems. Work gets more interesting. It's easier to maintain relationships, easier to think of new ways to manage the hustle of the work-life balance, and so on. And so, I have a little article here on creativity. Dare to fail. Here's one of the little book tip-in books. It was probably stuck on with a snot dot. That's what I call them. Little glue dot. And so anyway, this book I would spend, because there's more articles in it to read than say the last one. There'd be more note taking involved in this than there would be in this one, right? So anyway, Flow always has little articles and little questionnaires and little things for you to prompts and ideas to write down. like, for instance, I'll just read a couple of these. In your mind, when did you fail recently? Now, remember, this is the chapter on Dare to Fail. Is there a content page? I guess there's not. Oh, let me tell you when this came out, though. This one is 2018. Okay, and again, I'm not sure if these are on Amazon. This one's on Amazon or not because it's from Flow. So then to ask you questions on when you have failed, and to kind of analyze that. Dare to start. I want to tell you at least the chapter headings. And again, in the back of that chapter, prompts and questions to ask yourself. 3, dare to sleep more. And here's some little posters. Little, like, here's one of Marilyn Monroe. Flow always has little tip-ins like this. They're magazines, they're special books. Chapter 4, dare to be bored. Dare to commit. But because it had that collage feel to this, I pulled this book as well with the collage books. Here's a whole thing. 29 examples of projects you can start today. I'm just going to pick 2 random ones. Pick a color. Collect items in that color each day for a pre-selected amount of time, a week, a month, and make a picture of them. Photograph, draw, or paint a picture of something that made you happy every day. So, you know, and there's just tons of them. Here's the 29 of them here. Oops, let me put that back in here. Then here's my daily project, a little thing to keep notes in. Of course, you can make these kind of things yourself. This looks like this was probably had a card here with a snot dot, a glue dot. I shouldn't call it a snot dot, but that looks like, anyway, a glue dot, and then this would have been attached to the glue dot, and I would have pulled out the card. Your daily project notebook. Then the next chapter is try something new. Dare to try something new. Dare to be a kid. Some little frame, some little, like the Instamatic or Instack, you know, the little Instat, not Instagram sticks in my head. Anytime I go Instagram needs to complete that. Dare to be alone. But look at the little collage-y looking things. If you made your own sketchbook, book, you can use stickers, cut out a magazine. Even if all you did in the magazine was just cut out the little, you know, cut out some little icons, some little flowers, a little bee, a little, you know, and have that be the section that you would journal in. All right, then the next one is little cards came in this, little postcards, so you could send them out. But these came in. All Flow books and magazines have all these tip-ins and additions to them. Dare to be mindful. Dare to nourish yourself. Dare to be quiet. That's one more. Then look in the back. They have all these little things that you can color and cut out. Dare to team up. I think that's the last one. So again, this one is Creativity Takes Courage. Dare to Think Differently by the makers of Flow. But I pulled this for in my collage books because just for the ideas of the little things that you can add to make your own journals and your own note taking with just a little sticker. A little sticker can do it. All right, then we got Once Upon a Piece of Paper, and I've shown these as when I got them new. I always show my new book, so most of you may have seen these before. If you're a lurker, thanks for being here. Hopefully you'll get some ideas, take down some notes. We have the Society of Idea Collectors, which is where we collect we collect ideas and either keep them in a notebook, a journal, a comp book, a sketchbook, a binder. I keep most of mine in big 3-ring binders. Um, and I tab them and tag them and put little pretty little paper clips on the tops of them. Let me grab one here. So here's one of them. And see how I have them numbered? And then I have a table of contents at the front. So each one of these is a different thing. It might be a person, a place, a thing, your occupation. I have them all numbered, tagged. And then this is just because it's pretty. But they're big 3-ring binders that I like to use, like 3-inch binders. But you can use a comp book or just a sketchbook. Whatever you want to use. Okay, so this one's called Once Upon a Piece of Paper, a visual guide to collage making by Andrea D. Aquino. Andrea D. Aquino. So I would start a whole new page. I'd title it, put the author, and then start writing notes. Okay, so this book has 2 sections to it. Okay, has 2 sections, and I've tabbed some things probably back when I first got the book, when we all went through it together. I probably made tabs for something we all did in it or something. But one section has this paper pad that pulls out. Okay, called Use, and it's all just papers. Now, if any of you are mixed media or have done scrapbooking or any kind of collage or mixed media, you probably have a lot of this kind of paper already. But I'm just flipping through so you can kind of see and get some ideas of what kind of papers. You can always use your own photographs. Like you saw that popcorn box in there. Photograph your own popcorn boxes and print it out. You can print out this can be your own art. Like this, you could do your own. Look, that looks like just a bunch of scraps. I'm not sure what she did here, but you can lay out a bunch of scraps all in just monochromatic, like all greens, and then just photograph it on your phone, send it to your printer or your computer, and then print it out. And then you have your own collage papers, your own use your own journal pages. Look, whatever you want, and then print it out yourself and make your own individual unique collage papers, right? So, but this book comes with this, and again, it comes on a chipboard backing and in a pocket back here. And then here's the actual book, which does slip out of the sleeve on the side. So you got the pocket on the side to pull the whole book out if you want. So, because this is a hardback, this kind of, it'd be kind of tricky to, work with it. So you can just take this out. All right, let's see. Time for a fresh, get you some coffee. Yeah. I'm just drinking some cranberry juice. My coffee has gone cold. It's gone cold. I did make a fresh pot right before I started streaming, but, and I wanted to do this morning because I wanted to do a test. I hope we haven't had any buffering. I am hardwired. My computer, desktop computer is hardwired to my router with a 50-foot cord downstairs. So rather than be on Wi-Fi, which I don't know if that was the problem. I don't know if my signal seems to be fine watching anybody. I could be watching Netflix and 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 one of our streamers and checking my mail. I can do all that. Multiple tasks can I do on my Wi-Fi. I just can't stream, seems like, very well. Now, my old laptop seems to stream a lot quicker than my new HP. Don't ask me why. So, Hubster this morning said, let's get out that long blue cord out of the closet and see if we can there he goes out the garage again. And let's see if you can stream hardwired and if it's better. So, I don't know that we've had any buffering or anything at all. So hopefully we're good. Cindy said, I just got the Calm magazine. Yeah, I like the Calm, the Mindful, and I'm not sure if they're published by the same companies or who publishes what, but I do like, oh, here come the cats. Time for cats and collage. She'll probably pop up here in a minute. I just don't want him messing with these cords that I've got going all the way down the stairs around the room. So it seems to have worked. Yeah. So, and I'll go back and watch the recording to see, because when I'm streaming, when you're a streamer, there's a gnat right there. When you're a streamer, it looks perfectly fine to you. You don't see buffering. You don't see fuzzy. You don't see none of that. All I'm seeing right now is a gnat right in my face. So anyway, you can't tell unless you go back and watch it, or somebody. I'm going to get that gnat, or somebody tells you. Okay, so Once Upon a Piece of Paper, and again, a visual guide to collage making, and hello, chapter 1. Well, I'm not sure this works. Get, think, make. Okay. So Once Upon a Piece of Paper, I'll give you a little intro to the book. Some rather strange, beautiful, messy, funny, unpredictable, and delightful things took place. For me, a piece of paper is like a stage. I think that's why I like to cut up shapes, colors, and characters. I can move the pieces around on top of it and simply watch what unexpected interactions happen. Sometimes it really is as simple as that. So much so that often when people ask me, how did you do that? I just don't know. I see my role more as just being able to let it all unfold and take place. It surprises me. These scraps of paper take on a life of their own and will entertain and even speak to me, and hopefully you. Of course, I'm not totally passive. I have to be in the right frame of mind where I'm focused and generally paying attention, not distracted. It's such a fine balance. I have my collection of papers cut up from random, terrible paintings, things I've found on the sidewalk, or just saved for no particular reason. I allow them some space and let them tell me a story. So there's her intro to how she thinks about collage. And okay, so here's a section. This section details a few supplies to get you going. So she talks about your art supplies, your basic supplies, using other helpful items. And then here's ideas, paper collections. Wait, don't throw that out. Ephemera. So ephemera can be anything. It can be an old envelope from your junk mail. It can be your old postage stamps. Hubster is just like going in and out all morning. The garage. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, but that's what that noise is. So, sure, you can buy pretty papers in a store to build your stash, but I recommend avoiding that in favor of the quirky things you can find here and there in the trash, or even better, someone else's trash. Be open to collecting, but being selective is preferable to being obsessive. Too much ephemera can get overwhelming, so try to strike a healthy balance. And that's true. You have to be able to have ways to get to your stuff. Hi, Preppy Crafty Girl. Oh, and I saw, by the way, Preppy Crafty Girl's got some new items in her shop on Etsy. So if you just go to Etsy and the Preppy Crafty Girl, she has all kinds of things, guys. She's destashing her wood-mounted stamps. She's, Yeah, good. It looks like it's doing good. Yeah. She's destashing her wood-mounted stamps. She's got journals. She's got journal covers. You can't tell here, honey. Hubster's coming and looking at my picture on the but this doesn't necessarily mean what they're seeing.
I know.
You see. So anyway, go to the Preppy Crafty Girl Etsy shop and see what she's got in there. Okay. All right. So then make a system. How do you want? Do you want to use envelopes and folders? Ways to organize. You can organize by color, and that's how Packer Dye organizes her collage elements by color. I kind of do it by theme, but I also do it by size. So I might have full-on magazine pages that I've torn out and not deconstructed further, and they're going to be in one folder. My Flow magazine or, the magazine pictures might be in another folder. And then those folders are in big plastic tubs. I've got all my here, and I'll show you this real quick. I was going to try to grab them all, but I don't know if I can grab them all. Here are my tissue papers, my jelly-plated papers, rub-on papers, tissue papers, all kinds of tissue papers and different kinds of papers, pattern papers, tissue papers, more tissue papers. And I just have these in bundles. So these are just big bundles of papers that I keep in a plastic bin. But you can see they are organized. They are all together. And then all this just is in one bin. So, those won't fit in drawers and they're not color-coded. So you just have to see what works for you. He's already left. He just came and looked at the screen and left. And I had to tell him that just what you see on the screen looks good doesn't necessarily mean that's what's happening out in the world. Okay, so make a system. Ways to organize by color, painted textures, pattern papers. Like I have all my scrapbooking papers. They're in tubs as well that I can flip through. They're standing up on end in big tubs, 3 or 4. How many do I have now? 4? 3 or 4 huge tubs, 2 feet long, standing up on end. So I can do this. I like to flip through my papers and then just pull out what I want. But so my scrapbook papers are separated from those tissue papers, right? Separated from my old book pages. Then I have a stack of calendars. I have another stack of magazines. So my stuff's kind of broken up by magazine, calendar, tissue papers, old book papers. And then I have, of course, little tubs of scraps like this. Here, I got folders sitting on top right now because I've been working on those. But then I'll have tubs like this. So I'll have some of my Catherine Anderson doors and just little scraps of paper in here. And then I've got probably, how many? 6, 8 of these. And they all stack on top of each other. So I can just like move the whole tub or the lid from the tub. And I can just unstack them and look through them. So little, I have I showed y'all on Monday some of the little boxes that I bought just because that box of little photo boxes was on sale. I got it 80% off. So that's the only reason I bought that. Well, let me show you. And I don't even have these filled yet. But some of my little stuff I put in here in these little things here. So like this is some, that faux ephemera kind of chipboardy kind of stuff. So you can do this. If you don't have a whole lot of collage stuff, this would probably work as long as you can cut it down small enough. Most of my stuff is big and I like to tear as I go. Then there's also something like this kind of tub thing here. where you can remove these. And like this is a lot of my Tim Holtz people, my Tim Holtz photo booth kind of things. And this is a lot of this is Tim Holtz stuff. Chipboard. I mean, there's other things in here too. Then here's my little bucket of planets from Janet and Devin. And so there's my planets. And then you see, I still got room to grow in there. And here's some heavier chipboard. This is the thicker stuff. So I got some of that in here. More stickers in here. So it depends on how much, I do a lot of collage. So, I have a lot of collage storage things. But if you're just going to do a few small cards or like artist trading cards, or let me see, where's my little sample of cards? Let me see if I can reach them up here. They're up here in another stack. Let's see, where are they? Here we go. If you're going to do small cards like this, if you're going to do ATCs, now these are bigger than ATCs. I don't really do 2.5 by 3.5 ATC size very much anymore. I do 3 by 4. So it's just a little bit, that gnat is driving me crazy. There's one little gnat in here trying to buzz around my coffee. Oh, there. Oh, I almost trapped him in my coffee, but he got away. So anyway, these are 3 by 4 little art collage art cards. Where'd you find the tubs? At Michael's, Preppy Crafty Girl, the different color one. The different color ones that have like photo boxes inside. That I got it for 70% off, plus I had another 10%. So I got it for like 80% off. So they were all on sale last week. They go on sale all the time. Just be looking for it at Michael's, and use coupons, guys. Always use a coupon. But I got those at Michael's. The clear one, Michael's as well. Sister Woman. So if you're just going to do small collages like this, then all the storage stuff that you would need to store is tiny, right? So you don't have to worry about having big bins of tissue paper and bins of book paper. You can cut your stuff down to a manageable size. So just depending on what you want to do. You've seen I do posters that are 4 feet by 5 feet, huge rolled out pieces of paper, which are very hard to do on camera, by the way. But, you can do a full desk full of collage posters, which I do that. And there's videos of that too. Look at my playlist. So anyway, more make a system. Pattern papers, black and white line art, photos. They're telling you how to separate things if you don't. Found ephemera like parking tickets and postage stamps, or works in progress. Don't lose those tiny pieces. So yeah, I like that too. I think what that one's made for, Sister Woman, is washi tape. That one with the open container, that one is made for washi tape. But I keep my washi tape in printer trays, so I don't use those kind of things for washi tape because like I said, my washi tape's in printer trays. But that's what that plastic is made for. Hi, Lauren, Gail. Who else am I missing? I'm sure I'm missing people coming in. But that's what it's called. If you look it up to see if they have them at Michael's, or you want to order and then go pick up at curbside or whatever. They still have their curbside going on as far as I know. Michael's does. Then you look up a washi tape container, Sister Woman. Your washi's on giant rings? Yeah. I have a lot of my ribbons hanging on a ring. It's over here in a corner. I always forget I have it. I like my washi tape where I can see them all laid out. And you have to find what works for you. Everybody's system is going to be different. When I first started really doing a lot more collage for the show, and doing abandoned books and things, I said, well, let me go ahead and divide up my collage elements in those little drawers. You know, those Michael's Tower drawers, and you can get them in clear and you can get them in colors, and they're little drawers. Well, they're like a foot by, I don't know, they're like this big. And and I think they have 12 drawers. And I had all my stuff divided up by transportation, florals, people. I'm trying to think of, I had 12 different categories: mechanicals, architecture, travel. I had 12 different drawers, and I hardly ever went to the drawers. When I wanted to do a collage, I went to my extra bins or magazines or calendars. I didn't do well for that much organization. Now, what I like about these boxes that I just showed you is I can divide some little things up that were getting lost. They were getting lost, like all those little butterflies and all those little bees and bugs and flowers that were very, the little Tim Holtz ephemera stuff. That all that stuff would end up at the bottom of my big bin. And I'm talking bins that are like 8 inches deep, 2 feet wide. That's how big my bins of stuff are. And all those little bitty things would fall to the bottom, and I'd never use them because they weren't just readily accessible. So I thought that with these little boxes and the little bins, that I could put at least some. And you saw I still have blanks, empties. I'm not near done organizing my big bins full of collage stuff. Where's my phone? I think I have a picture. What did I do with my phone? It's here somewhere. What did I do with my phone? Well, it was right here. I don't know what it did with my phone. Oh, never mind. What did I do with my phone? It's sitting right here with my chat. Where'd my phone go? It's sitting right there in front of me. Which I need to plug in if I'm going to keep using as a chat. But I've just been going back to my computer screen. Let's see if I can put my hand on it real quick. So when I started, this was maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. We didn't have anything to do, nowhere to go. I started really sorting out my collage stuff. And that's when I was doing my books. I think I did that afterward. Oh, let me look on Instagram. I think I posted a picture of it on Instagram. Let me go to my IG here. Okay, here. So here's some pictures on my Instagram if you want to see them. This is my collage fodder. See all those bins? This is just collage fodder. This is all collage fodder. So I spent a weekend organizing this. So I spent a weekend organizing this stuff. But it's all in these big tubs, right? Big tubs. So Picola, I think you can put them on you can put your washi tape on embroidery hoop rings too, or the rings, not the, well, how do I say it? I don't know what John is using, but you can buy rings to put your little embroidery cards. That's what I'm thinking of. The little cards. Yeah, I spent the whole weekend, like, probably 16 hours each day. I just did it all day long. See, when I get started on something, hi, Janet. When I get started on something, I'll work on it from morning till night. Until I finish it. If I have a project that I'm working on, it's going well, I just sit here, I keep my butt in the chair, and I'll work 8 hours nonstop. I'll get up and go to the bathroom or get coffee. But yeah, if I have a project I'm working on, I will complete it. Janet gets OCD over seeing that hot mess. I did organize. It's now in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 tubs, plus those trays, plus those 2 cart things I just showed you. So I did get it. No, wait, there's 3 more over there. Well, maybe about 15 tubs now, down to about 50. Yeah, the embroidery. Well, yeah, the embroidery hoops. As long as you can open an end, an embroidery hoop, you can open it all the way, and you can put them on there. Okay, or those metal hoops that are made to put your embroidery cards on. The little plastic cards that you put your embroidery floss on, it has a hole in one end, and then you have a hoop to put all those on. You could put your floss, you could put your washi tape on that too. But an embroidery hoop will work fine as well. Okay, so we're going through collage books, Janet, and I'm doing a test. I don't know if you heard me say that I got a 50-foot cord, and I'm hardwired from my computer in my studio, and the cord goes out the room, down the stairs, through the kitchen, all the way across the den. So I was about 50 foot, something like that. 50-foot cord, so I'm hardwired. I'm hardwired, Janet. So anyway, make a system. Then this one's think, and I probably saved this because we were reading something about it. But she does say, don't overthink about what you think about. Trust me, I've thought a lot about this. And that is true, and y'all see when I'm working in my abandoned places books or doing any kind of a poster or a collage, we just go for it. And I do it as we go. And it just, here, let me try to pick a couple out here. They're sitting over here in my pile. Okay, well, here's one, here's 2. Okay. So here are 2 posters, and these are about 18 by 24, I think. So these are like 18 by 24. So we just go, we just start, and this was a blank paper, and we just start gluing, and, I think I started with the door and the stairs, and then we did a tree, and then, of course, I love outer space and painting in, all kinds. I'm trying to kind of keep it so it doesn't flash out, because it does want to flash out. So got an owl up here. So this one's 18 by 24, as is this one. Now on this one, I painted my own lemurs. Y'all know I love me some lemurs. So these guys are painted, my own painted faces and tails, and the boxes are painted. So they're like lemur, Jack in the Box kind of thing. And then we did a collage circus all the way around. So it's like lemurs and a circus in space. And there we go. So you can kind of see. And then I just made it like a little star chart kind of thing with the trapeze artist. Connected them with white Posca to make them look like, their star chart. So anyway, so it's like, so I did some lemurs, I did the boxes, and I thought, well, let's have, a lot of it'll come to you. Now, I can also, if I have a specific topic, then I'm going to think more about it. I've got sometimes in my abandoned books, the Abandoned Castle, which we just did on Monday. If you missed that show, we did an Abandoned Castle book. So you start with something. You start with abandoned places, and you recreate the worlds and make them a new world. So I kind of have that new world idea. Space and portals and time and sci-fi. I have that in my head already. So, I've got a little bit of a theme already going. Oh, thanks, Sister Woman. So anyway, don't overthink whatever you think about. Trust me, I've thought about this a lot. 10 thoughts about not thinking. So again, we're in this book, Once Upon a Piece of Paper, which is a double book. It has the paper on one side, and then it has the book on the other side here. But remember, take your sketchbook, your comp book, your notebook, whatever you write notes on, and write your notes, especially when you first get a book. It pays, I'm telling you, when you first get a book, find some time to be by yourself and when you first look at the book for the first time, it's going to be more inspiring than if you go back to it later. So when you're going through the book page by page, write down whatever comes to you. It doesn't have to be about the book. It doesn't have to, it just whatever comes to your mind. Doodles, notes, here, I'll show you. We already did those first two books. And there's some swatches there. And so in 30 minutes, we did all these notes just by flipping through a couple of books. So it will behoove you to have some note paper next to you while you're going through a new eye candy art book, or any book for that matter. I mean, I annotate a lot of books, but especially if you want to get inspiration and ideas to collect to have when you don't feel inspired. Okay. Yeah, I do some commissions, and I don't sell those collages. What I do with some of them is I'll make prints of them for giveaways. But yeah, I don't just sell them. Yeah, those are same thing for my abandoned books. I don't sell those. I have torn a page. Like I tore a page out to send to Kieran Connolly, the author of the abandoned books. I did send him a hard copy. I tore it out and sent it to his publisher. He took a picture with him and the publisher and posted that. So, but yeah, I don't sell those. So, hi Dot. Let's see who else. I know I'm missing people coming in. All right. So then some of the best things you can make are mistakes. And if you're joining us, Dot, or anybody coming in, we've been here about almost 2 hours. I'm testing my hardwired connection and showing some collage books. And then 3, let go of control. Janet, you need to read this chapter. No, I'm just kidding. Jump into the chaos. Take credit for accidents. Stop making sense. Destroy something in order to create something. Y'all know, and we all do it here. We love to deconstruct. Deconstruct our journals, deconstruct our books, take them apart, repurpose them, put them in new journals, new idea books, make art cards out of them. I will, especially, not all of y'all do it, but a lot of us do. We will deconstruct something in a heartbeat to repurpose it. Reach for the stars, but grab whatever happens to be around. And then, she has little tips for you to just grab, if you have things laying around. I've shown my desk journals before, where keep a journal, especially if you work at your desk all day long and you're doing multiple projects, collage, painting, whatever you're doing, mixed media. And you're always going to have little scraps of paper, little bits of paint left in your paint tray. You want to scrape all that up. Let me just grab one real quick. Put these posters away. I got to not trip over this cord now here. Let me grab one or two. Let's see. This one and this one, I think, have the most stuff in them. So keep a journal, and it doesn't have to be, I don't use these anymore really as desk journals anymore, but I used to buy one a year. These leather journals from Barnes & Noble. I'd buy one a year and just, work in it for about a year. This one's not complete. You can see right there in the middle, there's some unused pages right there. But what I would do is anything that's left over on my desk after I did a collage, a painting, a mixed media, I'd throw it in here. And then sometimes when you just don't know what to do, you're not inspired to really do anything in particular, you can go back in here and then paint and add more things to it. So you can do this, here's another one. So, and I just pulled 2 off the shelf. I've got, I don't know how many. Oops, upside down. So just whatever. So you've got some leftover paint. Then here I doodle some trees. I've just completed some painting here, and just whatever's left on your brush, on your desk, little collage bits, and just go in there and add leftover Christmas cards, magazine image, and then you can go in there and just play and doodle, scrape some paint, think about color choices. And when you do this kind of thing, you will inspire yourself. the thing is most people won't do it. You know, though, how do you get your ideas? Well, do you make mind maps? Do you have a Society of Idea Collector book? Do you have a desk journal? No, I don't do any of that. Well, I can't make you do it. Leftover stencils, paint on the stencils that just get smashed into the book. You know, a little cat doodle, just whatever. None of these would I consider a finished anything. It's just a place to have a place to throw your scraps. See, this is what it starts out as. Look, just leftover bits. Then I'll go in there with paint on top of that. And it's just very inspiring to go back and flip through it. You might get color ideas, or you'll just see one thing that inspires you. You know, this little bit of, you know, that's a paper under a paint, and it looks like a stencil. And, you know, you just get all kinds of ideas when you do this. You know, this one right here, I love this idea because this always reminds me when you're going through magazines. Here's another, write this in your Society of Idea Collector notebook. When you're going through magazines and you're tearing things out and you tear a page out and something is underneath that just so works, that's what happened here. I tore a page out, either him or her, I don't remember which, but I tore the page out and the other face was right under it. I had to glue that down. I had to remember that. So there we go. I kind of unflash it there. What do you use? Just not anything that's no Sharpies, Riri. You can use, depending on how thick the paper is, you can use super tips. Crayola super tips, water-based, not Sharpies or anything like that. So when you pull out a magazine image and you see something underneath and it really looks cool, save that. Don't just go, oh, that looks cool, and close the book. Pull it out, glue it into something. This right here, this girl reminded me, her dress looked like a column. It looked like architecture. So I put those two together because clothing is usually inspired by, well, it always is inspired by something, just, you know, but this right here reminded me, this looked like architecture. So I had this column here, I matched them up, and, you know, and then this ponytails, you know. So it's just any little thing that you have, that inspires you, a little piece of this, a little slab of paint, put it in, have some kind of a journal or a book. I call them desk journals because they sat on my desk. They would sit on my desk for a year. And yeah, I can show it to you in a minute, Riri. I want to finish my collage book stuff because I'll go on so many rabbit trails, guys. I only can go on about 3 or 4 rabbit trails and then I can't find my way back. Okay, so let me put that up. All right, so back to the collage books. So what they're talking about here is grab whatever happens to be around you. I hope I'm not too flash out because I can tilt this and get brighter colors as opposed to that, but I don't know. What do y'all think? I want it to be clear and crisp, but not too dark, but I don't want it to be flashed out either. So hopefully we're okay. I'll go back and look at it. You know, I'm having to, you know, learn StreamYard's lighting compared to what I'm used to over on YouTube. Plus, we only have 720p here, not 1080p. So I'm trying to make it as clear as possible. Oh, thanks, Riri. All right, so use the whole world as your palette. Erase doubt, smudges, blobs, spills, mini compositions. Of course, y'all know we do our art cards around here. And so anyway, basic design, a focal point, composition, sharp shapes, grids, just different compositions. They show a little bit of a little step out here. Textiles, scale, And that's another thing in collage. You if you just remember a few things like dark and light, big and small, and odd combinations. Just, if you don't do anything else but those three things, you'll start. Now, this doesn't have anything really to do with composition per se, the layout of your composition. But if you have these three things, you're going to have a start of an idea. Plus, use your lists, which we talked about earlier. Go back over to your lists. And if you have your list and these three things, you'll make up a story. You will. Oh, thanks, Devin. You'll have a story. So playing with space, like negative space. Make a collage using only type. One figure. Then this is making like a paper doll that's movable. So not so serious composition. Design a recycled bird. So, just find a bunch of scraps and try to make a bird or anything from your list. Any animal, any bird, a reptile, a frog, a bug. Make any of it out of just scraps of paper. Just, anything. So here she's showing you how to do that with paper scraps, abstract. Who says you have to use paper? They're using leaves, mythical creatures. And that's another thing. If you don't know, like an idea, do myths, fairy tales, folklore, heroes. I just start making you a list. Inventions. Mysteries that have not been solved. That can be the Bigfoot or Loch Ness. It can be, cultural myths. Every culture has their own myths. So then you can break that down, like, the Native American and break all the Celtic. You can break all down all these things by countries. Okay. So you make your list, write it all down. Sketchbook, comp book, notebook. So paper people. Okay, so that one is Once Upon a Piece of Paper. Again, this comes with a stack of papers, which you could make. Make your own papers. Take photographs of your food, your packaging, your scraps. Take a picture of it on your phone, send it to your computer, print it out, and you'll have all kinds of imagery that's original to you. So this just fits in the slide there. So that goes together like that. It has a band on it. There we go. Okay. And don't forget, anytime you get a new book, preferably right when you first look at it for the first time. I mean, you might flip through it at the bookstore or something, but when you really sit down to go through it, you want this right next to you because you will get so many ideas just flipping. And the first thing that comes to your mind when you look at those pictures, write it down, write notes. And then if something else comes to you and you want to do a mind map off of that one thought, that one culture, that one whatever idea, the type, the fonts, the whatever it is, you got to write it down, people. There's just way too much information that will come to your head when you're looking through a book, especially a visual book, that you'll forget. I'm telling you, I can't remember what we wrote down here an hour ago. Okay, so that's Once Upon a Piece of Paper. Then the last one I have here, one more, and then we're going to go because we've been here 2 hours, and hopefully we've not had any buffering, and hopefully it's been fairly clear. Hopefully, because I have autofocus off, I have the auto white light balance off. I adjusted it manually and then turned it off, so we should be set in that way. So yeah, I'm using my same Logitech camera. I'm using my same Logitech camera settings opened up behind the scene from StreamYard. But again, StreamYard, we only have 720p, not 1080 like we can on YouTube. But, when you're here, you can do things like this that you can't do on YouTube Live. So, plus we can have multiple people on. I do want to have guests. I have a couple, 2, 3 people I want to have on, including, y'all wait for it. Of course, I want to have Mary Altier and some of y'all artist girls on, but I want to have Zippy the unicorn. I want to have Zippy the unicorn on. If y'all have not seen Zippy, go to Doug to Naples. Yeah, Zippy was on Doug's show yesterday. So go over to Doug to Naples recording from yesterday. He was inking some more of his books for his new campaign. And go over to his show yesterday, and Zippy was a guest. I think Doug had 4 or 5 different people on his show yesterday. And Zippy, so you can hear, you can listen to Zippy. I'm telling you, you're going to be laughing. Well, I do anyway. I hope I make Zippy feel comfortable when he comes on. But I want to try to, and I asked him, I don't know if he's answered my, because I haven't been on Messenger or anything this morning because I've been here. But I did ask Zippy to give me a picture of him, Zippy the unicorn, not the person that plays Zippy, but Zippy the unicorn. And I want to draw Zippy. I'll draw Zippy while we're talking. I think that will be fun. Plus, no, I won't do a puppet show. I could, Devin. I could do a puppet show, but I don't know if I'm that funny. Zippy's a hoot. Zippy's hilarious. I don't know. Let's see, where am I? Let me see. Where are my? I could do a couple different things, but let's see. Okay, here's some. Oh, there's yeah, and we put this on Zippy on Gumby because we want everyone to know this is not a kid show. This show is not for kids. So this is an adult Gumby. Let's see. I also have my Andy Warhol. And then I also have Bob Ross. But I can't do their voices, These are like real people, real, oh, here we go. Here, when Zippy comes on, shh, don't tell Zippy. But I think Zippy had a child. But anyway, you vote for Zippy and Denise. Oh, I'd love to have Zippy and Denise on. Oh my gosh, Julie Topaz. I would love that. I would love to have, I wonder if I could get her. Denise is changing jobs and she's going to have Saturdays and Sundays off. I would love to get Denise over here and Zippy, but I'd have to coordinate that somehow. I get Bob Ross every Saturday morning on PBS, Little Cheryl. But anyway, Denise and Zippy, I could just sit and draw. I could just draw in the background with Denise and Zippy. But anyway, so I have my little, I do have some, but I wouldn't do these. Zippy is Zippy. There's no substitute for Zippy. But anyway, okay, we got off track. Okay, so Project Collage, 50 Projects to Spark Your Creativity by Bev Spite. I'm not sure how you say that last name. The other person that I could recommend for collage, and I didn't bring any of his books in here. I pulled these off the shelf in my mural room, is anything by Griffin and Sabine artist. His name's just, I said Bev, and now his name has gone out of my head. I have Zippy the Unicorn and Bev. I can't think of Griffin and Sabine's artist name or off the top of my head now. Um, you too. Oh, hi, Kenneth. I didn't see you come in. Good to see you. Um, okay. Nick Bantalk. Thank you, Devin. Nick Bantalk. Any kind of faux ephemera, anything with collage. Nick Bantalk is a master at it. Yeah, Nick Bantalk. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so Project Collage, these are 50 projects, and that's what sparked my Nick Bantalk, because he has books out. Let me just go grab the one collage. Hang on, let me grab the one book. Hang on. The cats are sitting down the bottom of the stairs looking up like, what's that blue snake going up the stairs? So anyway, I didn't grab the Griffin and Sabine. I grabbed the Golden Mean, but I think this is the second one in the series. But anyway, I just grabbed this just to grab a couple of his books. But anyway, they all had letters to each other and all kinds of collage and faux ephemera. And Janet and I did and I didn't bring that one in here either. He has a puzzle book out that came out last year, I think. And Janet and I solved it together. We worked on it together over the phone. I didn't bring that one in here. But this is the one I was talking about. The Trickster's Hat, A Mischievous Apprenticeship in Creativity. Maybe I'll show you this one too after this one. Real quick. Real quick. So Project Collage. This one came out in 2019. 50 projects to spark your creativity. I'll just read the contents. Collage, a little intro to collage. Freehand, color, build, spaces, texty, menagerie, 3D, canvas, washi, surreal, distort, pattern, persona, joiners, mixology, repeat, fashion, inside out. And then there's like 2 to 3 projects under each of those topics. So you got these little projects in here, right? Again, you'd want to be writing down when you first open the book and you're first reading the book. Write down, get your notebook, your sketchbook, or your comp book, whatever you write your notes in, and start writing notes immediately. Okay? Okay, Picola. Yeah, I need some hot coffee. My throat's getting a little scratchy. And there's this gnat. If I start going, oh, wait. If I start doing that, wait for it. If I start doing that, it's not that I'm coughing. It's not that I'm coughing up. Oh man, I was hoping I was gonna do this quick, but it's not. Hang on. See, this is my funnies always take time to do. So when I'm trying to do something funny, it's like, oh, I gotta open a package first. I gotta open a package before I can be funny. Okay, so if I'm either if you hear me going, I've either swallowed this gnat that's flying around me, or I'm coughing. I'll have to do that when Zippy's here. I'll have to cough up a fur ball. It's not the virus. I'll have to cough up a fur ball. Okay. Let's put that to the side. All righty. All right, back to collage. All right, so there's a little intro to what collage is, and I guess a little history, freehand, and layers and tears, color. So they give you step-by-step things to do, right? Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to copy it exactly because you're not going to have exactly the same imagery, right? But, you're going to get the ideas. So that's what this one is. It's projects. It's projects, depending on where you are. Using animals. So anything you see, if something occurs to you, make your list, write down your ideas, because you might see camels on cardboard and have a complete different, I don't like that, have a complete different idea than that. But if you don't write it down, I can't stress this enough, guys. I cannot stress it enough. You have to write it down, even if it's just on Post-it notes. Write it down. You will not remember those ideas. Here's some playing cards, like ATC size. Playing cards and ATC are the same size. Baseball cards are all 2.5 by 3.5. Let's see. Distort. Different patterns. And again, you heard me read the chapter titles. Well, they got all these different little projects for you to practice or get ideas. So this one is a project-oriented book, okay? Project Collage. Bev Spite? I'm not sure. But anyway. So, and I did get this one off of Amazon. I think the others I got actually at the bookstore. So Once Upon a Time in Paper. Oh, this just popped over here. Just was there. Oh my gosh. So anyway, I'll leave this one. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Look, I can't help it, people. Don't email me. Zippy, you forgot something. You forgot something. I've got to leave this here for Zippy. When Zippy comes on. Okay. Creativity takes courage. This one's a flow book. Cut, paste, create a design journal. And again, this one is more of you create your own collages based on the base piece, the base pieces. Janet's not the only one that's a 12-year-old boy sometimes. Although I think Janet's probably a 12-year-old boy all the time. Oh, thanks, Pacola's giving me. Okay, this is Society of Idea Collectors, episode number 72. So I got to make sure she'll make me put that in my playlist. Oh, I just poke myself with my pen. She'll make me put that in there. Okay, thank you. And then Lizzie Lee's Create Your Own Collage. This was the first one we looked at. Again, guys, I showed these already. And then the last one here that I'll show before we go is called The Trickster's Hat. It's a Nick Bantock. This one I buy anything Nick Bantock. This was 2014. So this one came out in 2014. Well, I was thinking that the unicorn was pooping a green. Isn't this what unicorns poop? They come in multiple colors. Maybe they poop rainbow colors. I've seen. Oh, I know. I won't describe some of the unicorn memes I've seen, but I'm sure you've seen them too. They're all different color. Well, okay. So anyway, The Trickster's Hat. A mischievous apprenticeship in creativity. I've tried to do a couple of these projects. Teresa goes, I'm not going to say a word, Riri. We've tried to do a couple of these projects, and I'm going to go ahead and read the intro to you guys because this is an amazing book for creativity. Okay. But the projects, some of them they're timed and they're like 2 hours. And plus, I'd have to have all the supplies at the ready. You know, some of them are 30 minutes. Material here is just a pen and a notebook, but some of them are more, and we've done a couple out of here. How many projects are there? I forget. Let's see how many projects. 49 projects. There's 49 projects in this book, and they're all on creativity, collage, because you know he's a collage artist. And it's very inspirational. I should pull this back out and reread it because I haven't read it fully probably since 2000. What did I say? 14. What year did it come out? 2014. Although a few years ago, Riri, a few years ago we did a couple of the projects. But I'm going to read his intro because this is just really very inspirational. Again, this is what it looks like. It's called The Trickster's Hat, Nick Bantock. A warning. If you want a shortcut to originality, this isn't the book for you. On the other hand, let me get a sip of juice before I start reading. On the other hand, if you're willing to be led hither and thither and unlikely paths by a fellow of dubious reputation, if you're prepared to keep a sense of humor and not be fazed when he plucks the unexpected out of a mischief-stuffed hat, if you're ready to zigzag, detour, and wander in search of a better understanding of your artistic core, then please feel free to slide further into these pages. Where to start? It's dusk. A stranger is driving around the countryside, utterly lost. Eventually, he comes to a tiny hamlet. The place is deserted, apart from a little man sitting on a rustic fence. The stranger winds his window down and asks for direction to Fortune's Hall. The little man removes his peculiar battered hat, places it upside down between his knees, scratches his head, and without looking up begins. It's like this, he says. You take the first right, the third left, the second right, pass over the humpback bridge, then you carry on till you reach the Goat's Arms. A mile from that you'll see, and so he continues for a full 2 minutes. Finally, he completes the impossibly convoluted stream of directions, replaces his hat, fixes the stranger with a piercing gaze, and declares, "But if I were you, I wouldn't start from here." Our friend the stranger has a problem. If you were he, what would you do next? You cannot retrace your steps. There is no one else to ask. Are you obliged to keep driving in the hope that you will stumble on your destination before night descends? A troublesome conundrum, or maybe not. If you're less specific about your destination, then maybe you aren't lost at all. Of all the reasons, okay, who is a trickster and what else does he have in his hat? And I'm just going to read this. Of all the reasons for being an artist, there is one that outweighs all others. Art offers a path to our souls. But this path isn't direct. There are no shortcuts. The road is confusing, and seemingly getting lost along the way is inevitable. However, perhaps there's a point. After all, if it were simply a matter of going from A to B as the crow flies, how much would we learn along the way? In order to gather wisdom, we are obliged to stumble bum our search, careening us against the periphery of our comfort and comprehension. By nature, these wanderings aren't easy. We have been told so many times that if we want something badly enough and focus hard enough, we can have it. But that concept falls prey to the notion that we can conceive what we need, that we know what the best way to go, and that there is a best way to go. We can't get far enough back from the road to see the topography. Our perception of where we might be going will thankfully always be wrong. That's where the trickster comes in. Having a wise joker as our journey's companion, someone whose very nature embodies misdirection, is an enormous asset, and we need all the help we can get. So for the duration of this book, the trickster, who comes readily furnished with a map and an exercise hat, will be joining us. He has much to give, but remember, he has no qualms about tripping us awake if our boots get too filled with ego. So that's the intro to his book. And then he gets on to keeping one foot on the shore, why collage, artful dodging, and his biography is called The Artful Dodger. Practical stuff, and then here's the exercises, and he starts you out doing some little 2x2 collages, and there's 49 of them. There's 49 exercises. Some take 30 minutes, some take a few minutes, some take 2 hours. Some involved swapping art with somebody through the mail. So there's a lot of, hi Ray, there's a lot of different projects that can take a long time. And so it's hard to do these projects on stream, but so this is a good book. So anyway, do you start? Oh, you're welcome, Carla. Yeah, and hopefully I'm gonna get Zippy the unicorn. I'm gonna get Zippy the unicorn on the show. And a few, I don't want to get Mary. I would like to get the Comic Book Hut because he's had me on his show twice. And of course, I've had Janet on, but that was really a test of our internet thing, our internet connection. So hopefully, here's the thing. Hopefully today in our 2.5 hours, I have been hardwired with a 50-foot cord from my studio to the modem down in the den, downstairs in the den. This blue cord was rolling through my house. So hopefully being hardwired, even at 50-foot length of cord, has been a pleasant experience for everyone here. So anyway, you've completed the first 9 in that book, and awesome. That's more than I've done. And I don't do them in order either. I hardly ever do anything in order, but I do. This is a fun, but it's not it is a workbook. This is work, guys. This one is not just something you just throw. Well, you can, but you really want to be more concentrated in your efforts when you do this particular book. So, so far the cats have stayed away from it. Hubster's here today. So he has been, he said that they have not bothered the cord. So if you liked any of these books that we talked about today, we did review all these a little bit. And I also talked about being a part of the Society of Idea Collector, keeping a journal, a sketchbook. This is just some color chart here. But where we started here, we took some notes. I showed you how to take down some notes and ideas whenever you're reading a book, just to get you started on some basic mind mapping and list making, idea collecting. So hope that helped if you had not joined us for any of these kind of episodes before. All right, guys, I'm going to head out. Hi, Scooby. I don't know when I will be doing an impromptu with, Zippy or Janet or Mary or Hut or somebody. But hopefully this test with the cord helped, and we had a decent show today. So thanks, everybody. Oh, you too, Jerry. Thank you, Scrap Girl. All right, guys, y'all have a great weekend. Stay safe over the 4th of July. Hug whoever you can hug with or without your masks. But have a good 4th of July, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.